crazy to spend $500,000 on this project, but the really good thing is this house is worth $1.8 million, okay? Please, very important to me that I get this on video. no one came to take videos. So look, the house is worth $1.8 million. So that's his question about loans, not loans, what do we do, is it worth it to build? But basically, if you have, he has $1 million house. Okay, what do you have? How much do you own in the house?
We own 10%.
10%. So he has $100,000 in equity, but he can't pull out any money. No one's going to give him money. No 30-year refinance. He can't refinance. He can't take a line of credit. He can't take a construction loan. No one trusts him. No one knows who he is. So it's kind of an issue. But you figure out some way to get money. Maybe it's hard money. People are really scared about hard money. But let's take hard money to example. We'll take two examples: either hard money or if they have equity. But hard money, for example, his project is going to be worth maybe $350,000. He wants to do an addition of 500 square feet or 600 square feet and do an ADU garage conversion. ADU garage conversion is probably going to cost him around $100,000, and the addition is going to cost probably $250,000, $200,000 because he has an interior remodel. Let's take it as two different projects. So let's take $100,000. We have to find this $100,000. So we have two options. If we can get a line of credit, that's really beautiful. If we can't get a line of credit, we take hard money. Hard money every year they take probably 8%, maybe 10% if no one trusts you, but that's a full year. So $100,000, it's only $10K. But we do ADU garage conversions in 6 weeks. So let's push it, let's mess up, let's do it in 2 months. Let's take a bad contractor and do it in 4 months. Remember, we're not pulling money when we do the plans. We're pulling money only when we start construction. So you have $100,000 to play with, even take out $110,000. Over the course of a year, you're right, you're gonna spend $10,000, that's a lot of money. But over 2 months, not 2K, 1K, it's less than 1K, it's $900. So to take $900, $833, thank you. Okay, that's how much it costs you to pull out $100,000. Now, if you pull out $100,000, how much is your house going to be worth if you do this ADU? It's going to be worth $1.25 million. Plus, you get rent. So now this house, instead of being worth $1.1 million, it's worth $1.5. Now, really, instead of spending $1 million on his house is worth 1.1. So 1.1. But now he has $250,000 in equity. All he had to do was $833 in interest. Now your question is, now by the way, you can start pulling out money, you can start playing games with your money. But before then, let's say he says, wow, now my money, now it's so expensive because I gotta pay this back. You refinance, you pay it back, you pay a little bit of fees. Now the question is how am I gonna pay this mortgage? For you, it doesn't matter because you're already paying this mortgage. You're already paying $900. So paying off 1.1 is not that much of a big deal. But now the question is how am I going to pay this off? But his ADU is worth $1,800 a month, $2,000 a month. Taking out this $100,000 of over 30 years costs you less than $500 to take out right now. So that's really, really blessed. But better to do, let's say you have a little bit of equity. This project this is free. If you can get the $100,000, your project is free. Now let's talk about if you already have some equity. People are scared to pull out equity. $1 million house. Let's talk about this house, sorry. 800K. 800K to buy this house. $500,000 construction. Now this construction is really only $450,000, but it's $50,000 in loans. Why? Because on this $800,000, he only put in 160K. Only 160K. Then everything else is hard money. Again, people super scared about hard money, but they give it to you in periods. They don't give you everything in one shot. So they give it to you and you only pay 8 to 10% once you pull it out. It's like a line of credit. Basically, he spent $50,000 because this project took so long. The reason why this project took so long is because of DWP. But if you don't have DWP, I would have finished this project in 5 months. So we just waited and waited and waited. But basically, $160,000, his house plus this, now his house is worth 1.8. 1.8 mil. So not only he put in 500 plus this, that's 1.3. 1.3. Not only is his house worth $500,000, he just bought another project. I don't know if you guys saw him. He's a crazy developer. He just pulled out all of this equity. What did he pull out on 1.8? $1.8 million valuation. He paid this whole loan off. He paid this whole loan off because it's hard money. Then the 160, so 1.3, he has $500,000 left. On this 1.8, he pulled out 80%, 82%, something like that. Well, how much is that? 82%. 2 million, 2, how much? 800, 160. I think he pulled 150.
1.476.
He pulled out more. I think I want to say 1.5, 1.4 something. I think he pulled out 1.5. He pulled out 500,000. He pulled out how much? 1.4. Cool. He paid this off, 800. He paid this off, and now he has $150,000, $200,000 in his pocket. He got this back. So now the guy has $500,000 in equity in his house, and he took back his $160,000 to go buy another project. And that's why his project makes a lot of sense. Again, different ideas, different numbers. He has no equity, but pulling out hard money, super easy, super cheap right now. If you have equity, like this guy had equity, let's call it that he had 20% equity, super easy to do these projects. So,
Question: when you fill out hard money, what are the requirements? What are they asking for? Do they ask for funds? Do they ask for, that some kind of, because they're giving you money right for new construction. I mean,
no one is going to give him hard money. Well, who gets hard money? Developers. So once you do 1 project, 2 projects, 3 projects, it's super easy because you have someone that you trust that they know your work.
Right.
Again, I have hard money guys that, instead of charging 8%, they don't trust you, they're going to charge you 10%, and then they're going to give me 1%. They're going to say, hey, here's $2,000, thank you so much for your time and effort, which is okay. It's called a contractor kickback. We don't take a lot of kickbacks, but the main perspective is that they don't trust you to do the project. They trust me to do the project. So the client, you ask the client, what did he do here? Again, yes, he designed the kitchen. Yes, he designed the floor layout. But we're the ones that told him, okay, it's worth it to do 725. I'm not going to tell him to do 600 square feet. It doesn't make sense. I'm also not going to tell him to do 1,200 square feet, 1,200 square feet, because it doesn't make sense in this location. And Dominique will tell you too. Dominique brings hard money. Clients don't have to bring hard money. So it's about the project. Contractors, sometimes you guys call me, people call me and they say, hey, take my project. You guys have unrealistic construction payments, unrealistic budgets, unrealistic what you want to do. And then right away, your contractor doesn't even come to your house. That's why 5 people came here. I don't even want to go to their projects. Unrealistic projects, unrealistic expectations from contractor, unrealistic sellable or rentability. Projects that we love is real projects where clients make money, where designers want to design it, where homeowners can live and build. If you're going to want a 4,000 square foot home and then not be able to pay the mortgage, how am I going to build it for you? That you're going to get mad at me, I'm going to get mad at you, you're not going to pay me on time, hard money is going to delay, Loan Depot is never going to pay us out. So it's not up to you always to get the money. Of course it's easier and you have more power, but on a project like this, I tell them, look, this is how much money I want to make. I want to make this much money. Everything else leave up to me. You can design a couple of things, but basically, if it's not going to be your dream home, let me do what I do best, and let me get the money, let me ask for the money the way I want, let me develop this project the way we need to develop it, so then you get $2,000 in income, so then your mortgage is not $8,000 anymore, your mortgage is only $4,000, and your mortgage is less than what you originally had. Correct, you have someone live in your house, maybe you have an Airbnb, maybe you have your family, but basically we design homes for people to live in to then have lower mortgages and share their lot with people. Anyways, call me out.
You said DWP delayed this project. Could you explain that?
Great question. There's LA City, LA County, and then all the way around. They know their ADU resource center, they're really good, they know better. I know LA City, LA County, I know Glendale, I know Culver City, I know Beverly Hills, I know Burbank, but every jurisdiction has their own. DWP owns LA, they own St. Pedro, they own a bunch of places. But the code goes, if your ADU or any house, any addition, if you have a telephone pole or a high voltage pole within 5 feet, you have to go through DWP clearances. DWP clearances are not online, they must be on, please explain, this is Eric, please explain what about DWP?
You have to submit it in person, and it takes a while for them to process it, about 4 months right now, 4 to 5 months. For them to go through the whole thing. If
you're 5 feet away, it's one clearance. If you're 15 feet away, if you're closer than 15, it's a different clearance. So again, every single project has merits. So let's just talk in serious. Would I buy this house with a DWP pole? For sure. Would I buy this house if there was a school right across from me, with a fire department within 250 feet, with a fire hydrant within 250 feet? No. If this house was $200,000 less, but it had all those things, I would still not buy it. So look, there's an HPOZ house here. It's 2 miles away. It's HPOZ Jefferson Park. For sure, it's worth $1 million. It's right now on sale for $800,000. No one wants to buy it. The reason is there's a school zone next door to it. There's a fire hydrant, it's HPOZ Harbor Heights. Which developer can buy that house? It's 5 years down the line. There's also a car wash right next to it, 5 years down the line. If the house was a mile away, it would be worth $1 million. So again, location, Bill will tell you the same thing. Location, where all the easements are. Is it easy to build ground up? Yeah, it's easy, but then they ask me, why is it $300 versus $400, $500? Sometimes I bid $500 a square foot on new construction. But again, clearances, heights, boundaries, surveys, all of these things take precedence. So
who does the reassessment and value? Is that the bank?
Yes and no. So it depends on who gives you money. So if it's hard money, they'll personally do it. But hard money you have to pay right away. So there's first position and second position. So who's your first position? Usually the first position is going to be a big bank like Bank of America, and then either you get hard money or you get second position paid by someone else. So let's talk about Loan Depot, what Loan Depot does. Loan Depot is not a big bank yet, but they're getting there. So they'll buy out your $800,000 loan from Bank of America or Wells Fargo. They buy it out, then they give you a $150,000 loan. The $150,000 loan is probably at like 4, 5, 6%, but they don't care about that. They care about taking $15,000 in fees because you refinance and you refinance twice. So what Loan Depot does makes you refinance once, you do the construction, and then you refinance again. So they'll come out there and then they'll do the reassessment. If it's a big bank and you pull out line of credit from Bank of America will send their reassessors. So there's third party and there's first party. There's first party reassessors from the bank, they will for sure come. If you don't agree with that valuation, which everyone in this group should never agree with that valuation because we build ADUs. They don't know how to, Fannie Mae doesn't know how to evaluate ADUs yet. Then you bring up a secondary guy, and there's a guy named Cindy, he's from San Diego. He would assess this ADU at $600,000. I assess this ADU at probably like $350,000, $400,000. He assesses it easy $600,000 because he knows how much it's going to rent for. He knows the location. He knows that if we could split this lot, we could sell that. Again, how much would everyone buy that house for? Just that loan in this area, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000. That's what it costs. It's new construction. Keep all these things in mind when you're finding contractors. You don't have to use me for a contractor. A lot of these people are not from LA. Him, I really want his project. That's why I bought him. He's 2 miles away from my residence, so I would love to take that project.
Do they also add value for the interior remodel of an existing?
Yeah, but not as much as you think. So let's talk about bathrooms, redoing your bathroom. So yeah, another question is should he do the ADU? The answer is, if he's okay with someone living in his house, 100% yes. He makes $150,000 on day one. Even if he sells the house right away and flips it, he makes money. The real question for him is, should he do a 500 square foot, 600 square foot addition? That's the real question. So to answer Eric's question, square footage is worth a lot of money. In LA, in Fullerton, anywhere. Redoing your bathroom, redoing your kitchen, not worth that much money. Redoing your pool, not worth that much money. So pros and cons of Fannie Mae, because they're the ones that are going to sign off on your loan docs. Is it worth it to add a bathroom? 100%. Is it worth it to redo your bathroom? No. But how are you going to do an addition of 500 square feet and not redo your bathrooms? So look at this house. This house is beautiful. This house was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom before. The foundation was falling apart. All these windows are new. All this drywall insulation, stucco. There was nothing here. There was framing, and the framing was eaten up. We sistered all the walls because of LID and because of 50% rule. But basically, nothing was here. So yeah, this gets reassessed. But this square footage, the ADU is worth a lot more than this square footage. So keep that in mind as well. Any other questions?
Another thing I consider is that here you have the main house, the junior ADU, and then the ADU, and then the idea for people's projects of if the junior ADU is a standalone unit and how it's used and how it affects your property value as far as ADU, accessory dwelling, even can be split off and be sold separately if it works for the site. Junior ADU, is it a rental unit, is it a guest suite, is it an in-law suite, and can you talk about that a little bit?
The main issue that we have on a federal level is that single-family homes are still only single-family homes. So even though you guys look at this project, you guys can tell that this is 3 units. This is going to be, as soon as everyone here is gone, in the next month, there's tenants in here, this is $10,000 a month. And all their mortgage, with pulling out all their money, their mortgage is only $7,200. So they're gonna make $3,000 money in their pocket every month. Everyone knows this is a rental. Everyone knows this is a multifamily. But Fannie Mae doesn't. Originally, I say that they gave us 1.8. Originally, they gave us 1.35, and we're losing money on this project. But that's because they looked at it as a single-family home with square footage. We have a big issue federally. Federally, they're looking at single-family homes as one home. Like, yes, you can rent it, mother-in-law suite. Fannie Mae doesn't even have ADU written in their bylaws yet. So, but we're gonna get there. Right now, when we first started this project, there was probably 15 ADUs within 2.5 miles away from us. That was a year and a half ago. Today, there's probably 50. So it's all about comps. Dominique will tell you, it's all about comps. It's all about your location. I look at this one street that I live on. It's called Khalifa in North Hollywood. Eric knows it. A lot of people here know it. When we started that project, we were the first ADU on the block. Okay, I currently live in that ADU. Today, there's 25 homes on that one home. There's 9 ADUs. Okay, and there's 3 new construction homes, and there's a bunch of illegal ADUs too. It's 25 homes and there's 9 ADUs. It's Khalifa Street in North Hollywood. Instead of the prices going down and people not wanting to live there and there's no parking on the streets, oh, it's a neighborhood. It's really a neighborhood of like rich people living in main homes, young people living in the ADUs, JADUs, all the prices of the homes. Again, COVID, not COVID. The price of the homes went from $800,000 to 1.3, 1.4. New construction homes, $2 million. So you say, why would I build a new construction when there's an ADU and there's a young kid living there? Man, we're building housing. Like we're building neighborhoods. Correct, maybe there's no parking right now and maybe this neighborhood is not perfect, but you'll see soon all of this is going to be multifamily, and we're just trying to keep it not multifamily, but still, you know, your mom can live here still. It's not like you're kicking your mom out of here. It's really blood. You can do Airbnb, you can have your mom here, you can have your uncle here. It's really, really nice. Compared to, what if I tore this down? The same question. What if I tore this down? I could have this is R2 by the way. What if I tore this down and built 6 units? So what is the difference? You know, I think we're doing something much nicer, much cheaper, much more sustainable to who we are and what we are. And I'm charging modest amounts compared to that as a multifamily with a pool here. So that's also something really important. Like, we try to make money as contractors, we try to make money as developers and homeowners, but basically you have two options: demo and build a multifamily, or pick and choose what you want to do and pick and choose who you want to live next to you.
Can you give the breakdown of the rents for this house and then
Yeah.
ADU?
Okay, thank you. This is probably gonna be around 4K. So they're teetering between 3,700 and 4,500. Again, furnished, not furnished. This is a long-term rental, it's 4K. The back unit, they're going to do Airbnb, but hey guys, if you wanna come in, we're in here. If you wanna look around, you can look around too. Thank you. The back unit, probably 2,700, maybe 3K, 7K. The back unit, again, pick and choose, but there's already a tenant in there that is dying to take it for 2K. So again, all these numbers can be changed. This could be 4,500, that could be 3,000, this one could be 2K, you're there. If that one's gonna be Airbnb. Anita was here before, she does Airbnbs. Legally, you're allowed to do Airbnbs in ADUs for a specific amount of time. Again, they're doing Airbnb, they're fully packed. They're like 28 days a week. Now, Bill is gonna say that's bad, that's not, you know, everything we talked about. Again, we can't save the world, everyone say, we need to make money. But as long as there is housing though. So the JADU, we went really back and forth if we should do an ADU, an Airbnb or long-term rental. I think they chose long-term rental because of the specificness of this unit. But again, we're talking about $500 difference. But again, Airbnb, they create jobs for other people, cleaners. So it's in my opinion, in the eco space, it's all the same thing. So yes, it makes $500 more, but you have to bring a cleaner to pay her $500 a month. You know, yes, you're not doing full housing, but you're bringing in people to live in LA for a week and spend money in LA. So it's really all relative. The main thing is we need more units.